What's up, my people? It is 11:19, and I am leaving Tanya's house. I haven't vlogged at all today, and I have been nothing but just like a sleepy bum all day today. Got my fountain pop. I'm going home to do a live stream. And you would like to know what I have done with my day today? Well, I will tell you. Today, I woke up at 2 o'clock. And the reason that I woke up at 2 o'clock was because I stayed up so late last night watching Orange is the New Black. I have one episode left. And, this is like, I think, the best season they've ever had. I love it. And, it's really interesting because for so long I liked Wentworth better than Orange is the New Black, but like I feel like this season really upped it to possibly being very similar to Wentworth. But anyway, so we got up and I was supposed to go to my dad's house for Father's Day today, but then I called my dad yesterday. I don't know if I shared this in the vlog yesterday, and he was like, oh, no, we canceled that. He was like, we're just going out to dinner with your stepmom's mom and stepdad. And he's like, you're more than welcome to come if you want. He was like, but we're going at this such and time, which coincided with us, the plans we had already made. They had changed the time. So we had already like set the time for going over to Alex's aunt's house for this cookout. I don't know if you guys do that with family, but you'll say like, okay, for Thanksgiving, like this side of the family we're doing at 1 and this side of the family we're doing at 5, so you make them both work, and then somebody changes at the last minute and you're like, well, we can't do both now. Okay, that's like the story of our lives. So they changed it, and I was like, well, we can't come. He was like, I don't really care. He was like, you know, we'll do something. He goes, you and Alex and I'll go have lunch sometime this week. And I was like, okay. So we got up. Alex had been up because Alex went to bed so early last night. He got up at the crack house of dawn this morning and been working all day. He's like, I'm really hungry. I want to go get brunch. And I was like, but aren't we going to your aunt's house to eat in like an hour and a half? He's like, I know, but I want to go to brunch. Alex, I think, just likes to go to brunch. So we went to Patashu, and I had an omelet. It was so good, and a bagel, and Alex got the Cuban breakfast, and what else did he have? Oh, he gets a bowl of chili, because they have like the best chili there with homemade croutons and stuff. And then we came home, and I took a real quick shower, and then we went over to his aunt's house, and then his brother cooked out, and what they do is they like cook out like this huge plate of meat, like all different kinds. You see this on like every menu in South Beach when you go down there. And, but like, I'd never, like, I think it's a Latin American thing, or a South American thing. I'd never seen it here before, but what you do is you like cook all these different kinds of things, like 3 different kinds of sausage, like chorizo and all this, and then like different kinds of steak and chicken. And you basically just put it on a big plate, and people just like take it off, and then you dip it in this stuff called, I'm gonna mispronounce it, but like wasikaka, which is like, it's avocado based, and it looks like guacamole, but like creamy guacamole. It's just amazing. And you like dip it in there. And then we had yuca, which is a plant that's like, and I love it, it's like my favorite. It's like baked potatoes, but not. It's more of a root. And then we had watermelon, and we had salad, and it was fun. We had a really good time. We just kind of all hung around, but then we all started like falling asleep, and I got to hang out with my nephews, Carlitos and Sebastian. And if you watch my Snapchat, I put it all up on Snapchat, my nephews. It was so cute. I was showing Carlitos these videos that I had on Facebook like years ago from like when he was dancing in the kitchen, and he's like he's like, oh my gosh, because he's obsessed now with being 5. He's 4.5, and I guess every day he asks his mom, like, he'll say, am I 5 yet? And she's like, no, not yet. And he's also obsessed because he saw this like video about like Atlantis and the Bahamas and swimming with the sharks. And so he wants to go and swim with the sharks in Atlantis now and go to the Bahamas. So he's like, all he talks about is going to the Bahamas. I love kids. Like, this is why I love kids. And I said, oh, you're definitely your Tio Alex's nephew, not mine. And then Sebastian's like so quiet. And he's my godson, actually. And he's so sweet. And just a little doll baby. And so yeah, so we had a good time. We came home, and I told Alex, I said, I had my meeting tonight, and I was like, I need to lay down and sleep for like an hour and a half. I was exhausted all day, even sleeping late. I was just exhausted all day. I don't know why. And he was like, all right, babe. So like I laid down and he fell asleep too. And I got up and he was like rubbing my back. He was like, are you going to your meeting? And it was 9:30. I was like, shit. And I'd like overslept my meeting, and it takes me like a half an hour to get there. So by the time I would have got there, it would have been like more than half the meeting would have been over because I had to get gas, and it just was a mess. But anyway, so I didn't end up going to my meeting. So I went and got Tanya. We got a fountain Coke and we drove around for about an hour and just talked and caught up because I haven't seen her in like 2 or 3 days, and it was fun. And now I'm going home and I'm going to do a live stream. Oh my God. Yeah. And that's about my life. And I didn't post any videos today except for my vlog. So tomorrow I'm going to post some videos. And there were videos that I wanted to post today, but like we just like were busy all day long, and I just was like, you know what? Like I'm not going to like rush it and just put out crap videos. Like I want to actually like, you know, do them to enjoy them. So, and then I was telling Alex today about how I was going to like do these meditation videos and get them all done in advance. He's like, why don't you do them like on the beach in Mexico? He's like, I think those would be cooler. And I was like, oh, that's kind of true. Yeah. So I'm doing that. And then, yeah, I think that's about it. Think of anything else. Do you guys remember me talking about the Hunt a Killer box on here? I don't think I talked about this last night, but I got really frustrated with this. So like, I was sitting here thinking, and I was like, it's almost the 20th of June, and I haven't received my June box yet. This Hunt a Killer thing. It's like where you solve this like serial killer crime. And I was like, what gives about all this, right? And I had also reached out to them, like as a YouTube creator, and I said, like, I did not ask for a free box, okay? I said, I'm paying for a box, but I would like to work with you guys on like, what would you like me to say in a video? And they never responded to me. And I emailed them twice, no response. So last night I emailed them and I said something to the effect of, like, I emailed you twice, I did not receive a response, it's like almost, June is almost over, and I still haven't received my June subscription box yet. I'd like to cancel my service, blah, 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 and be reimbursed. Nowhere on this service does it say when you receive your box, okay? Now, I personally, having done other subscription boxes, you usually get them towards the beginning of the month, okay? Like, I don't know many subscription boxes that you get, like, the last week of the month. So, anyway, I got this email back from them today, and they're like, it was a template response, and they're like, so many creators reach out to us, and, you know, like, it was very rude. It was like this rude email that was just like this template response. We can't respond to everyone, and we're sorry that you've been unhappy with our services. We'll cancel you. I mean, it was just like very just blanket statement, and I thought, you know, I really talked you up. You don't know what I was really excited about this service. Nowhere do you say, like, our boxes are released on this such and such day. And I had gone to their Twitter because I was going to, like, tweet at them and say, like, hey, I'm confused, what's going on, right? And I saw that they had put on their Twitter, like, yesterday, our subscription boxes go out in 2 days, which means that, what is today, the 19th, 18th? Which means their subscription boxes go out on the 20th, which means that I probably would get it, like, the 23rd. Now, do you guys, like, I'm just interested, I mean, now, I've done a lot of book subscription boxes before. I think the 23rd is really late in the month to get a subscription box. That's just my 2 cents, but, like, am I wrong? Like, and to not have it on the website and say our subscription boxes go out on the 20th, like, I just feel like that's late, right? So I thought about it, and I thought, okay, Peter, don't be an ass, because you jumped to conclusions. So I'm gonna keep my box this month and try it, and then Oh, this is the other thing though that's really, okay, that's really sketch. That like, you have to cancel you have to order the next month. The cutoff date is like the 24th, but I don't even get my box until the 22nd or 23rd. So how would I know if I wanted to repeat it again? Like, I would want to try it, right? Like they said, you missed our cutoff date for May. I would have to read you the email, which I'm not going to do, but like they said you missed our cutoff date of May because I ordered it on the 28th, right? So if you had ordered it by I think it was like the 24th. Well, that gives me like 2 days to have the box decide if I want to order it for July. Like, doesn't that all just seem like it's not very well organized to you? I don't know. I don't know that this is a product I can stand behind. And it's expensive. It's $30 a month. And I'm not really sure that I want to like pump people to go buy it. I think the concept sounds amazing. I was very excited about it. It's basically like you hunt a killer, like a serial killer thing. You guys know I love that stuff. But half-price books, I can go in there and I can buy a paperback and basically do the exact same thing for $2.99. So I'm going to try the box this month and see what I think, and then I'm going to cancel my subscription. And if I like it, I guess I'll get it for August. But I just think that I don't know, like, it's almost like you would have to buy several months in a row before you really knew. I don't even know what I don't even know what it is because I haven't gotten my box yet to be like, yeah, I think this is cool or I think this is junk. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? I just think it's kind of sketch. In my opinion, allegedly, in my opinion. But I guess we'll find out and see what I really think. There were a bunch of daisies just in the middle of the road, just like it looked like a vase of daisies had broke. That was kind of cool. It poured down rain earlier today. We'd have our barbecue after we cooked inside. Excuse me, because it was raining so bad. Dream, 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 dream when I love you. I was supposed to be on my You Now live stream 17 minutes ago. People are texting me saying, where are you? Well, I'm almost home. And I will be on live stream. Alright, I'm gonna get off here because I'm like literally almost home and then I can do this. I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Okay, I am back and my hair is still being foolish right there. I have a hair appointment this week, and I feel like I just went to the hair salon. Oh, by the way, the other day, hold on. The other day when I was on here talking about my sunglasses, and I was talking about my Ray-Bans that I have that I loved, and I was like, these are $100. So I had these on today. And I was telling Alex, and I was like talking about them and how comfortable they are. And he goes, those aren't your Ray-Bans. And I go, what are you talking about? They were, I got them. These were in my Ray-Ban like container in my thing in there. He goes, those aren't your Ray-Bans. And I go, well, what are they? And he goes, those are your $10 glasses that you got at, do I have my Ray-Bans in here? No. He goes, those are your $10 glasses that you got at Target. So if you want glasses that look like Ray-Ban Aviators, because I couldn't even tell the difference, these are $10 at Target. I love them. So anyway, yeah. So I've had a really fun night. Like, once I got home and it was lame, and I was actually thinking about going to the casino. I've like recently been like thinking about going to the casino and then I don't end up going. I'm like, I just don't even really feel like it. I'm kind of like over the casino. And so I just read this comment on my video. I didn't even know what it meant. And this woman was like, she said something about like my opinion about my Jeffree Star video, where I talked about him owning his shit. She said, meant that I hadn't done any work on my recovery. I was like, I don't even understand what your comment means. Like, I was like, I read all of the comments. So if you leave me comments, I know I don't respond to them, you guys, because I try to really keep up with social media. But I like read every comment that I get. So anyway, so I did my live stream when I came home. Alex was up. He was watching TV. And then he was getting ready to go to bed, so I talked to him for a couple minutes, but I could tell he really just wanted to watch his TV show, so I just like let him go and watch his TV show. And then I did my live stream, and then afterwards I was kind of like just sitting there, and it was such a nice night. It's like just 67, but it feels like it's like a little bit warmer than that. It's not super cold outside. And so I was like, I think I'm gonna read outside for a little bit, because I have all these books I'm trying to catch up on, which have been my goal in May and have been my goal in June, and I didn't accomplish either one of those goals. So I'm trying to get some of them done as much as possible. And so I was sitting out there reading. I'm reading, so if you don't know, which you don't know is a lot, well, I was reading Summer Days and Summer Nights, but it's edited by Stephanie Perkins, and it's an anthology, and it has like all of these great young adult authors that each write like a short story for the summer. And I started it last year, and I'm just finishing now, and it's not because it's bad. Like, none of these books I'm not done with because they're bad. It's just because like I've been like they're just books that I've like put down and then I haven't picked up. But it's really good, and my favorite one is The Kids That Work in the Movie Theater. If you've read it, my favorite one is The Kids That Work in the Movie Theater, the horror movie theater that's closing down. That's like my favorite one. My other favorite one also is about the guy and the girl that fall in love and they both live by the ocean. If you haven't read it, I don't want to ruin it for you, so that's all I'll say. But like, he only comes at summertime. But they're really good stories, so I was going to read that one, but I was like 5 pages into the story that I'm on, and I couldn't remember anything about this story, and it was like 40 pages. So I was like, I'm not going to read this today. So if you don't know what you don't know is a lot. I've been like going to all of the thrift stores looking for this is my new obsession, okay? I am obsessed with finding these books from like the late 80s, early 90s, the Scholastic teen books. And they're all the ones by like R.L. Stein, and they're scary like teen books. They're called like Slumber Party and The Boyfriend. And the one I'm reading right now is called The Yearbook. But they really are pretty scary, you guys. Like, they're good. Like, they're not, like, they're cheesy kind of, but they're good. And they're real, I mean, like, I literally can't put these books down. Like, I feel like okay, as a reader, I love to read a book when, like, I cannot put it down. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, that's how I am with Orange is the New Black right now. I have one more episode, and I'm gonna watch it tonight before I go to bed. But, like, that's how I am, like, with TV shows and movies, and, like, one of the things that I love about life that, like, really keeps me from getting super sad or whatever is that, like, I love TV shows, I love movies, I love YouTube, like, watching YouTubers that, like, every day their show is consistent like this. Like, there aren't that many. Could you guys list below for me some YouTubers who vlog daily? Because I don't know that many that I'm, like, really that interested in. But, like, I love, like, daily vlogs like this where you just follow the person's life. Like, so below, would you please list some YouTubers that you think that I would enjoy that vlog every day their life? But yeah, but like that's what I love, is just to like have things to really get into and binge watch like TV shows. And like, I'm kind of excited to finish watching Orange is the New Black because I want to get back into Riverdale, and then I want to finish that. Alex and I are going to watch Riverdale together this fall. And then I've got to go back and start catching up on all of my TV shows like The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, that I'm so behind on. I have 2 whole seasons of How to Get Away with Murder, so I'm really excited about that. Yeah, and Jane the Virgin I'm excited about getting back into, and all of these different shows. So that's kind of what I'm going to do this summer, but I'm also, like, I really want to get into reading, and so I was sitting outside, and I, like, was reading that short story, and then I got the yearbook, and I was reading that, and I sat there, and I have like 100 pages. I had like 100 pages left or something to read, and like 120 pages. I mean, the books are short. They're only like 220 pages. And that you literally could sit there in an hour or two and probably read the whole book. I mean, they're really short. And I sat there and I just like could not put it down and like read through like 80 pages. Like just boom, 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 boom. And it's so good. And the thing is that I have so many more of them, so I'm like excited. It's not like it's over and then I have nothing else. And that's like what I love about Netflix too. It's like when it's over, like there's so many more to, it's like Audible books. Like when I finish my Audible book, there's like so many more. Like I have like 40 or 50 audio books right now to listen to, and I'm trying to decide like which one is the one I want to listen to. I'm finishing up Waking Gods by Sylvain Neuvel, which is a sequel to Sleeping Gods. You guys are probably like, how do you like have time for all of this? Like you have no idea. Like with audiobooks, like all day long, like I usually get up and like when I go like in the morning, like I go get coffee. Like you don't see what I'm doing when I'm not filming because like I can't have that on in the background, but like I'm not a big phone talker except for late at night, and I really like I'll talk to Tanya throughout the day a couple times, but we only talk for like 5 minutes on the phone, and then I'll pick her up, and that's like when I see her is like when we hang out for an hour or so. But like Dustin Daly I talk to typically every night, and then other than that I don't really talk to people on the phone. So like if I'm driving around town, I'm always listening to an audiobook. In the morning I typically listen to some music, and like if it's late, like, but like most of the time I'm listening to an audiobook, so I get through so many audiobooks that way. And then if I'm sitting at home, like a lot of times if I'm cleaning or like straightening up or whatever, like I put on Netflix in the background and watch the episodes. So it's always like while I'm doing something, and but I just like I know it sounds crazy, but like I love life, I love stories, I love all of that, I love being part of it, I love getting excited about all that kind of stuff. So for me, like we are like living literally in the epitome of this pop culture generation that I absolutely love. Like books are huge, audiobooks are huge, movies are huge, TV shows are huge. Like I love all of that stuff, and there's so much good quality books, movies, TV shows out there right now that like whatever you like, if you like sci-fi, there's all of that. If you like drama, there's all of that. If you like crime stuff, there's all of that. I mean, there are so many in every different genre that like you can't get bored, you know? Like I think it's amazing. I mean, when we sit around today and people talk about how bored they are, I'm like, how are you bored? Like, my God, there's like so many Netflix shows, or, you know, like I could just sit there all day long and watch YouTube videos about like conspiracies, or, you know, like alien stuff, or like, I mean, I could just sit there and watch like the alien spot, like the UFO spottings. Like, I love those videos. And then that goes into like the whole Bigfoot thing, or like, you know, fairies in Ireland. Like I love just reading about or watching videos about all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think it's fun to make your day kind of exciting like that. And one of the things I decided was that I'm reading It this summer by Stephen King. But last summer, like every summer I try to read one big book. It was supposed to be Helter Skelter, and I only got to page like 55. Well, I know, 55, because I just looked tonight. So starting July, I'm not going to try to do this before we get back from vacation, but starting in July, I'm going to read Helter Skelter, and I'm going to read It. And I'm going to like, I have figured out how many pages a day I have to read. I just figured out that I think It, I have to read 14 pages a day. And Helter Skelter, I have to read 10 pages a day for 2 months. But those are two pretty big accomplishment books that I can say that I've read. 24 pages a day is not a lot to read for two books, you know, plus other stuff. And then there's Booktubeathon in July. If you guys want to do a readathon, and you've never done a readathon, Booktubeathon is the last week in July. And if you're interested, just go look up Booktubeathon. They have their own website and everything, or YouTube channel, Booktubeathon. So it's BOOKTUBEA-thon, THON. You go there and so like they'll announce it probably in the next couple weeks, like what the challenges are. And so it's 7 books that you try to read in 7 days. They have sprints that they do on Twitter from like, know, like 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. or whatever. And then every day there's a challenge, and you can do you don't have to do any of it, or you can do all of it. It's really fun. But then they have like 7 challenges, and so like the challenges would be like read a book with yellow on the cover, or you know, read a book about a diverse population, or like they try to do different ones every year, and they're really fun. Like I'm trying to think of what they were. Like read a book that was written like in the 1950s, and you can read anything, but it has to be like published in the 1950s. Now last year I did mine. I wanted to like step it up another notch, so I did all books that had been made into movies. I talked about this on here the other day, and I had so much fun with it because then I wanted to watch the movies, and so we watched. I read Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. I hated the book. I hated the movie. I didn't even make it through the movie. And A Single Man by Christopher Isherwood. I loved that. If you guys have never seen the documentary called Chris and Dawn on Netflix, it's about their relationship. It's amazing. I think Dawn was 18 and Christopher, the writer, was like in his 50s when they met, and they had were together for the rest of their lives. And you know, talk about an age gap. But they had this like amazing love affair, and Dawn is interviewed through the whole thing. I think that's his name. But anyway, and then I read Jaws. Jaws was such a great book. And then we watched the movie, but I'd seen the movie a million times before. What else did we watch and read? I was gonna do The Green Mile, but I didn't do that. I'm gonna try to read The Green Mile this summer. I have so much that I want to read, and I'm just like, I have to get on it, you know? Isn't life fun when you get into all of that stuff? And then Sophie sent me Blue Apron meals, so I finally ordered those, and we get ours delivered, I think, July 7th. Alex and I sat down and picked those. Our mattress is supposed to come sometime this week, so we're not going to be able to get our video up by the end of June. They wanted it by the end of June, but like, our bed came already. So our brand new bed, platform bed, which is like dark gray, like quilted, is this huge box, we have to put it together, is sitting outside of our bedroom door. Like we have to because we're not going to take down our bed until we put up the new bed. So yeah, so we're excited about that, and I don't know what else. Burger King now hiring full-time, part-time, days or nights. Apply inside. They must need people. Sounds like they're hiring for everything. So anyway, I just love getting excited about all that kind of stuff. There's this place across from my office in Broad Ripple. I don't know if it's a chain or not, but it's called Niceys, N-I-C-E-Y-S, and it's like these ice, like these sucker, like the ice, not ice cream pops, but you know what I'm talking about, like, anyway. But they apparently have like all these crazy like flavors, like cornbread or sweet corn or something like that, and just like flavors that you would never think of, right? And so I'm like really wanting to try one of these, but I heard they're like $4 or something. And somebody else said that they melt like as soon as you like start eating them. But I think that would be fun. I never noticed before that has my initials on it. That sign on that building right there. Here we are, passing all where the deer are. I wonder if there's any deer out here tonight. I don't see them. They're usually out like when the moon is really full or when it's raining. I don't know why that is. They're like when it's just like an average night like this, they're usually not out here. But what's really interesting is that they're usually here, like, there's usually like 10 together. Do you guys have deer in your area? Where my dad lives on a lake. They used to stand by the edge of the lake, like in the water. And so I would wake up and look down and I would see like all these deer. Oh, there is one right there. Literally just on the side of the road, you guys. I don't know if you can see this or not. Can you see that? Hey, bud. I'm gonna back up and see if I can get my lights on it. Are you ready? Can you see? I think they're so majestic. He's just like, can't be bothered with you. I love the deer. I think they're so cool. How weird is that I was talking about him and he was just standing there? There weren't 10 of them though. Well, they may have been, but I couldn't see him. I always talk to Pee-Pee. I always tell him, Pee-Pee, you know you're friends of the deer. He says, I know. Do you know what Christmas movie I used to be obsessed with? Oh my God, there's another one. Hey, bud. You can't see him, I don't think. Here, I'm gonna back up and see. You guys can see. You guys are like, oh God, he just jumped. Did you just see that? Oh my God, he like ran. You're like, Peter, we do not care about all this deer stuff. He was like, you are not capturing me on film, no ma'am. I need to trim my beard. It is like so long and going into my nose. It's driving me. I was gonna do that today, but I just couldn't be bothered. You know, speaking of the comments, I'm like in my head, like thinking if I really want to talk about this or not. Sometimes I like to prefer just to be positive, but like in reading the comments, like I feel like, and I know that it's because like, okay, when I'm doing the story times and it's just like, you know, if I do story times consistently or the rant videos and it's people that are just like, oh my God, I love you. And they're like people that watch my vlogs and stuff. You guys are so nice to me. You're so sweet. And, you know, like we interact with each other in the comment. Well, not you write comments and then like if you snap me or tweet me, like I'll tweet you back. And so like I feel like I interact with a lot of you guys and I know who you are from the live streams and stuff like that, right? But when I start doing the drama videos, a lot of people come in there that I don't know and like leave comments, which, you know, okay. But I mean, I knew that that was going to happen when I started doing those videos again. But I was like reading these comments tonight and there were some comments and they were like, you know, like, you look like my dad, but you sound like a teenage girl. Or, you know, like, why do you talk like that? I can't stand your voice. Or why are you trying to be a teenage valley girl? And it's like, I'm okay with my voice today, like, because I know that A, I can't change it, so I might as well just like it or not like it. And B, because, really because of you guys, like so many people in the last year, especially the last 6 months, have said to me, your voice is so soothing, or, you know, like, God, I love your voice, or, you know, your voice defines you, and so, like, I really like it. But that being said, it's like, how many times do I have to hear that comment in my life, you know? And I just feel like it's a really, like, ignorant statement to make to somebody, like, I don't know if that makes sense, but, like, I just feel like it's an ignorant comment to make to, you know, judge me for my opinion, judge me for how I'm living my life, judge me for something like that, but don't judge me for how I can't do anything about that, you know? And really, you look more ignorant for saying something about it than I might to you for sounding this way, you know? It's like, I remember that, like, my mom, one of the things that my mom would say to me, like when I was younger, she would say, you don't ever correct like an elder. Like, and I was like, well, what, like my mother was always like very big on like being, like somebody being your elder. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And she'd say, like, you don't ever correct an elder. Like, if like you say, okay, so like Tanya a lot of times will mispronounce words, and I don't even think she recognizes that she does it. And like, she used to call, I mean, she watched Oprah Winfrey every day that Oprah was on TV, right? And she's a diehard Oprah fan, but she would call, like, sometimes, not always, she would call Oprah Ofra. Like, it would just slip, right? And I'll never forget, there was this young lady that she was sponsoring, and the girl said, I mean, Tanya, it's Oprah, not Ofra. And I just remember the look on Tanya's face was kind of like, not that her feelings were hurt, she was just kind of like jarred into reality for a second. And, you know, I was leaving, and so this girl was standing outside, and she was leaving too. And I said to her, I said, let me tell you a lesson that my mother taught me, okay? It is more inappropriate to correct somebody like that than it is for them to make the mistake to begin with. You don't correct somebody like that. You know, like, that's so rude and disrespectful. It's like, and that's where I feel like every lesson that we need to learn, we could learn in To Kill a Mockingbird, the book. Like, how are you going to come into somebody's video and say, why do you talk like a 16-year-old girl, and the person's like 22 years old? Say that to my fucking face, you know? I would put you in your place so fast your head would spin. If some 22-year-old girl, and I love you 22-year-old girls out there that like to watch my videos and are supportive of me, so this is not about an age thing. Make the person 50, I don't really care. If a 50-year-old man came up to me and said, you know, like, why do you talk like that? You talk, nobody ever says that to my face. That's what kills me. No, like, back in the day when I worked in treatment, like, teenage guys would say that to me, but no adult ever says that to my face. Why do you talk that way? I can't stand your voice. Blah, 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 whatever, you know? I wish they would. But it's like, I'm gonna be 45 next week, and it's like, I've sounded this way my whole entire life, and people have always criticized it. And I'm like, I wonder if that will ever stop. I mean, probably not, you know? But do you ever watch something or see something that's like so your reality, you can't watch it or read it or whatever, you know, if it's a book? There was a documentary called, like, I Hate My Voice, or Why Do I Sound Like This, or something, and it was all about gay men. And there was this one guy in there that was like taking voice lessons to try to deepen his voice and change his voice. I got so frustrated watching this show. I was like 10 minutes in. I mean, it was very educational. It was done very well, right? And basically it was saying that, like, there's no reason why we can change the way, and I thought, this documentary doesn't even need to be made. Like, why do we act so ignorant? Like, why in 2017 do people act ignorant like this? You know? And like, when I love the comments that I get from people that say, I've never met somebody that's gay, and I never really knew somebody that was gay until I started watching your channel, and you've really changed my opinion about people that are gay. Okay, now I really enjoy that comment, because what that says is that you've realized I am no different than anybody else just because of who I love. Okay, so that's a pretty powerful statement, and thank you to those people that in some way feel like I have profoundly impacted their lives. That means a lot to me. I truly believe that activism is in how we treat others, not in forcing it down their throats. And that's just been from what I've believed, okay, or what I've experienced in my life. But one of the things that I don't understand is that we pretty much know how to act in life, and how to be a human being, and how to be kind, caring, and compassionate at age 5 when we get our asses on the school bus to go to school for the first time, right? So it doesn't really matter what you've ever encountered in your life, or if you've ever encountered a person of a different race, or, you know, gender even, or, you know, sexuality or ethnicity, or, you know, whatever the issue is. If you have never encountered that person before, you have encountered other human beings, and you do know how to treat people, right? So why would you treat them any less or any different than you would treat somebody else, just because they're different to what you've known? So really what we're saying is we're scared of different. And when we really realize that when we peel off the skin, we're really not a whole lot different inside. You know, my love for my husband is no different than your love for your husband if you're a woman, or your love for your wife, if you're, you know, whatever your issue, like sexual orientation is, your love, like love feels the same. Okay, the gender is the difference, but love feels the same. So it doesn't matter at that point, right? And we want to get caught up into all these differences, and it just isn't about all that. And it's like, treat a human being the way that you would want to treat another human being, you know? I was talking to Tanya tonight about how close she is with the girls that work for her, because she's got like, I've showed her in the vlog, or shown them in the vlog. She has like 4 girls that work for her, and they're all extremely close. And I said, you know, like, do you think it's because like you guys all work so close together or whatever? And she said, I think it's because we're all 5 of us caring for another living being. We care so much for these animals that are living, you know, that I think, she said, I think that when you're working with somebody in a caring environment like that, and I do think there's a lot to be said for that, you know? And that you're sharing a spiritual or a human condition, you know, those are completely different. But when you're sharing some kind of combined experience of humanity together, you know? And aren't we just all of us wanting to be understood by somebody else? Truly? You know, no matter how different we are, or how normal we are, to normalized to our area, or what we've seen or what we haven't seen, aren't we all just kind of wanting to be understood by somebody else? And I feel like what we're trying to constantly explain to somebody else is how different we are. You know, when you meet somebody and they'll say to you, or if you're friends with somebody and they'll say, but what you don't understand is, but what you don't understand is, but what you don't understand is, right? And like people constantly say that to me, like, well, you don't know how I feel. Well, no, I don't know how you feel. Explain it to me. Help me to understand how you feel, you know? And I'll be empathetic, and I'll be compassionate, and I'll do whatever I can to make your experience better, you know? Because that's, I think, all we can do for each other is to make our experiences better on Earth, you know, and to have this experience be a better thing. I just don't think it's that deep. I don't know. I used to talk a lot about my voice. Do you guys remember? I don't really talk about it anymore. It doesn't really bother me as much, but I have to say that when I read all the comments, I am a little bit like taken off guard. I'm like, God, are people still talking about it? Like, really, is it that big of a deal? I don't really hear it anymore because I hear my voice every day when I watch the feedback of the videos, or, you know, like Snapchats. I am so tired of this camera just cutting off. It just does. Maybe I hit 30 minutes. I don't know. Did I hit 30 minutes? I didn't think I did, but maybe I did. Anyway, I was talking about how somebody will always come for you for something, and I put this meme up of Dita Von Teese. So I love Dita Von Teese, the burlesque, you know, model, dancer, showgirl. But there's this quote of hers, and it says, you can be the juiciest, ripest peach in the world, and there will still be somebody out there who hates peaches. And it's so true. It's like, you know, you can be everything. You can be the best version of yourself possible, and there will still be somebody out there that hates you. What I don't understand is, why do people watch you? Like, why do people interact with you? Why would they want to do that? So there must be something about you that intrigues them. So when they're coming to your videos and they're typing all this stuff on it over and over and over again, not just once, not just twice, but 3 and 4 times, what they're basically saying is, you intrigue me, you interest me, you know? I want to watch this a little bit. So when I see these people that leave these comments on my videos, but like they don't just leave one and go away, like I can't watch this shit out, like that, I don't, like, it kind of cracks me up a little bit, right? That they even need to leave the comment, but it still cracks me up, right? And I'm not everybody's gig. Not everybody's gonna love me. So I do want people to go find what they want to find, right? But what kills me is when people like really don't like me and they leave like they'll go back and on every like 10 videos, Because like when I go into my comments in my creator app, like I can see they're all together, right? So this is somebody that's literally taken an hour to watch my videos, or 2 hours, and go in there and leave a comment like on every video. And I'm like, you're rather intrigued with me, aren't you? That you would like take the time and effort to go to 10 videos and leave comments on all 10 videos. And the other thing is they rarely ever come to this channel and leave nasty messages on this channel, which I think is funny, but it is what it is. I've got to start figuring out what books I'm going to read for July. July is always my big reading month every year because of Booktubeathon, and because it is. I just love reading in June or July. So, and I got to find the perfect book to take to Mexico. I want something scary. I want something suspenseful. I do not want it to be James Patterson or David Baldacci, although I don't mind David Baldacci, but I want to read something scary, something suspenseful, something that like I can't put down while I'm traveling and I'm like super spooked and excited to read. Like that's what I want. That would be like the perfect book for me. So if you have any suggestions, please link it below or comment below. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get off here, and I circled back around, and I'm almost home, and I am going to watch Orange is the New Black and go to bed. And I will see you tomorrow. I love ya. Tomorrow, you're always a day. I should have been on Broadway. Good night.